Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Wands Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we've had some internet issues. I made the same joke, James. So this is a continuation after, I don't know, maybe like 2 minutes on the first part of this reading. So I haven't even switched to a second tarot deck yet. But what we have is we have a lot of very magical energy coming your way, or perhaps you're already feeling it in your life. And it's because you have demonstrated strength and mental fortitude. You've been able to avoid the pitfalls that previously got you a little bit distracted or hung up, stuck. And so this lucky energy is here because you've earned it, right? And there's a concern that if you are looking the wrong way, that maybe you'll be distracted when that opportunity shows up. So this is a little bit of a heads up to make sure you're focusing your energy in the right ways or in the right pursuits. For some of you, you might get distracted by a romantic interest or a job that isn't really worth your time, that takes away from this great opportunity that is coming your way. So avoid the temptation, make sure that you're, doing right by your intuition and following what seems to be the right path for you. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of Wu Chan Chan. I hope you're having a good day. Hello again, Stephen. Hello again, James. Hello, Kingly Eagle. Hello, Wichita. I'm still going to call you that. I hope you're having a good weekend. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know that you really need to watch the first part because I've literally, I think it was maybe 2 or 3 minutes, but we've got somebody here who this opportunity is your good karma. So missing that would be a shame, right? I don't think I told you, if you're interested in a personal reading, you can hit me up by email. It is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. I've got it in the description box for you and right below where you find my email. You can also get additional information on the membership tiers that I offer if you're looking for additional shorts, videos, or live streams. The highest tier also includes a monthly personal reading. So let's dive in. We've got the Emperor. Your energy, by the way, came out as the King of Swords because of the lessons that you've learned, the wisdom that you have accrued. And this Emperor energy is what you are about to become. But you have to avoid that temptation to be stuck or repeat a pattern. So King of Swords, you're about to be upgraded to Emperor. Does not mean that you are a man. This is just energy that I'm reading, not physicality. But the 10 of Cups is saying this is the place where you belong. This is the path you're supposed to be following. And if you do that, everything just kind of falls in place for you. Hello, Realm of Bedlam. How are you doing? Hello, August. How's your day? Queen of Cups and the Eight of Swords. Yeah. So for many of you, this is an opportunity to do something that is quite creative, or something that has been a goal of yours for a very long time. But this is an important opportunity. It's not just like, hey, do you want to go to the amusement park next week? This is something to do with your purpose. This is where you're supposed to be or who you're supposed to be around. And I feel like there's some shiny object that causes some distraction. So that's why we have some caution here. Where did I put it? There it is. So this is the Voyage of the Soul. Maybe we can take a peek at the healing, right? Hello, Laura. Hello again, Key Controller. What's going on? Not surprised to see the breakthrough card. Milestone, epiphany, climax, advancement, quantum leap, King of Swords to the Emperor. This is about your life changing because of your behavior, because of your choices, because of the luck that you bring into your life. But even if we call it luck, doesn't mean, you should, undermine the impact it could have in your life. because there's a lot of happiness and joy that you can obtain through this opportunity. We've got whispers, depth, inward, meditation, higher self, and existence. It does require that you have some time to yourself. It does require that you think about what's most important to you, because again, there's a temptation here to take a different path, to go a different direction. This is the Tattoo Tarot. What else do we have? Empress in the reverse, 9 of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Sun. Enlightenment. Yeah, I feel like this is specifically around people who have taken from your energy and not been very kind or appreciative of your energy. So the Empress in the reverse feels to me like you've dealt with a lot of codependent energy. People who want to live with you and you pay for everything, or people who expect you to like fix all of the problems around them that they create for themselves or that they don't really address or have any intention of resolving. And you've had to remember, this is my energy and it's supposed to help me. Now, does that mean you should be selfish and never help anybody around you that needs help? Of course not. But we have to be discerning about it, right? If you are extending helping, loving energy to somebody who is wasteful with that energy, then that person is not really ready for that healing, and your energy could be used better on yourself or even helping somebody else, right? So I think you've become much more selective in terms of who you spend time around, who you interact with in a more emotional way, whether that's friendship or platonic. And it has helped you get into a better, less chaotic situation in life. 8 of Pentacles in the reverse. But there is room for advancement or some progression here with regards to your professional or financial stability. So I see this opportunity being closely linked with how you make money or what kind of self-respect you get through the work that you do. So things may have gotten difficult or even untenable, impossible to continue or sustain in a career that didn't really seem like the right fit for you. I went to school for this, so I feel like I should do this, but at the end of the day, I'm not making the money I should, or it doesn't feel like this is where I should be. It isn't what I expected, or I want to do something that's more fulfilling. So it may have been planned for a long-term career, but I see you being distracted by a different calling. 4 of Cups in the reverse and the 4 of Swords in the reverse. 2 fours. Yeah. This is disillusionment. Well, I thought it would be this, but it was actually that, and that's not really what I want. Or I never really dreamed that this would be a possibility, but if it is, then I want to actually see what happens on that path. I want to see what I'm capable of, right? Did I say hello to Dana? I had to start 3 live streams for this to actually work, so, you know, kind of lose track. Hello, John. How's it going? Hello, Jamie. So I feel like this is specifically about getting to a place where you feel like the skills and talents that you have, the experience that you have, can help you in an unconventional way while you pursue something different than your intended career or your chosen career. So it feels like a step backwards. There are people who are going to judge you because maybe you're going to make less money. Maybe you're going back to school. Maybe you are going to a smaller company. There's something here where people are like, but that's not what you said you wanted to do like 10, 20 years ago. Well, you know, sometimes we make different choices. Sometimes we realize, I think I've had enough. This is a shift that you feel compelled to make because of a multitude of reasons. But first and foremost, I would think because you don't really feel like what you're doing is worthwhile or what makes you happy. And I do feel like at some point the money started to get problematic as well. Maybe they ask too much of you, or maybe tax implications or whatever it is, right? All right, let's get some more from the signs of the times. What else do we have? Did I say hello to Roma Bedlam? Hello. What's up, GP? How are you doing? Likewise. Yay. Sorry, guys. I'm trying. Also, thank you to folks who have been patient with me with regards to my email. It's a little bit of an uptick in the last month, so it might take me a little bit longer to get back to emails, but I'm doing my best. Appreciate your patience. So we've got Tree Ancestry, number 42, and Palm Destiny, number 18. So your family doesn't like what you want to do. Wow, how original. Look, God bless family. We all need family. We all need some type of belonging. But we also have to be able to balance that with a sense of individuality. And if you can find that perfect mix of that, it's beautiful, right? But we all have the obligations that are kind of imposed upon us, or the expectations that parents may have or grandparents may have, maybe even siblings, right? Maybe even spouses. And that has to do with the money that I'm making, or what I do, and whether or not you're proud to tell people that that's what I do, or whether or not you agree with the chosen field. Maybe you don't believe in psychology. Maybe you don't think that art is a good use of time. We would not get along. But there's an element here of people judging you for what your destiny is, what you are meant to be doing, what you are excellent at doing. Superb. So there's a need to manage that expectation, or perhaps have a little bit of a, this is my life and that's how I'm going to do it. It might take you a while to appreciate it, and that's fine. You take your time, but I'm not going to sacrifice that opportunity just because you don't like it. What's up, Carrie? How are you doing? Hello, famous Seamus. I hope you're having a good weekend. So we've got yin yang balance, and it's another number 4, by the way. That's exactly what we're talking about. The balance between what feels like your calling, what feels like your individual need or that fulfillment, but also I want to be a part of a community. So maybe it's about this slightly judgmental family member understanding how you're giving back, or how this is a meaningful choice for you. You are going to be able to get clues as to what makes sense in terms of pursuing that, right? Oh, that's so sweet of you. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. With the rose, too. Thank you. So, look, there is a lot of people who have a lot of opinions. We don't have to care about all of them. We don't even have to care about any of them. But we do have to find a way to balance our view of ourselves and our place within society with our perspective and reality, right? So you got to find that healthy balance. And I do think that somebody is potentially judging you and your choices, or the life that you want to follow, with a judgment that maybe they actually feel on themselves. So we could have a little bit of confusion here in terms of why they're judging you on their part, right? They need to look within to understand why they feel they need to tell you what to do with your life. What else do we have? This is, by the way, the tarot of the cat people. Yesterday I misspoke and called it the tarot of the carrot people. Which, I don't know, you guys, is there like a carrot top tarot card or tarot deck? All right, we've got, wow, Five of Swords coming out in the as the first card, just like it did with the first tarot deck. And then we've got the Seven of Swords. So we had the Seven of Cups following the Five of Swords with the first duo. Interesting. 5-7. Seven of Swords is about lies. So here's the thing. I do feel like there is someone who is going to try to manipulate you into feeling like your decision is the wrong decision. And I don't know that I would say this person's outright lying to you, but I do feel like they have motives that they're not interested in sharing with you. In other words, there could be somebody who discourages their partner or their spouse from following their dreams because I really like spending $2,000 a month on, name a website, Legos, Harry Potter regalia, whatever. They don't want to sacrifice something that they want that is tied to or related to financial stability, which I appreciate that we all have our comforts, we all have our vices, whatever. But this is somebody who wants to block the path of another person that they claim to love for somewhat selfish reasons, right? Hello, Tara. How are you doing? Oh, you totally should. Yeah, I don't know that it's easy for anyone to do by themselves. I've got, you know, a little bit of a start, but it's a big project. One thing that I did identify, which may not be true for everyone, of course, but it does seem easier to start with an oracle deck because you can bypass the need for an ISBN if you don't have a little book that deciphers what the cards mean. Which I suppose you could also just do a tarot deck that doesn't have the accompanying book, but yeah. Anyways, I will definitely let you know when I get closer to making that a reality, but I will also tell you I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and that could be a battle that I need to tread carefully with, right? So we've got the Queen of Wands and the Ace of Cups. There's so much beautiful energy here around your creativity. So, I mean, that's not to say that you can't be a very analytical person. You did come through as the King of Swords, but what you represent, what you bring to the table, what you are known for, it's this creative approach, this unorthodox or unconventional strategizing, or it's literally just creative juices flow all through you. And maybe you're a musician, maybe you're a dancer, maybe you're an author, but it's remarkable. And whoever is telling you to not follow your dream is undermining or underestimating what your potential is with regards to this creativity. I sure hope not, James. That seems very unlady luck like. Oof, that's a lot of L's. I did it, you guys. We've got the Five of Pentacles in the reverse. Because see, what somebody is projecting or expecting to be a loss for you financially is only a temporary interruption or a minor setback, and then you start to make the money you're supposed to. More money. But there are a lot of people who have been convinced not to follow their dreams because it involved taking 2 steps back before they could take 1 step forward, and then maybe another one, and then one after that. It's not an overnight success for everyone, which is why a lot of people don't make it, right? Which is why a lot of people don't get what it is that they're working towards. So stand up for yourself, believe in the gifts or the talents that you have. I do feel like many of you are dealing with a little bit of imposter syndrome, that this is being kind of like thrown in your face by whoever this person is. The Seven of Swords, the one who should be supportive. Five of Wands in the reverse. 8 of Cups. I think you know after you have this conversation with the not very supportive person that they are not right. I don't know how you would necessarily formulate that sentence in your mind. It might be more like, well, that was BS, or they don't know what they're talking about, or they're just jealous. But there is, when you walk away, this like, what was that? Why did you say that? When you know that's not true, or you know that I do have this skill, or, why do you want me to live my life like you do, or in that way? There's something here where you feel almost like validated because they tell you you shouldn't feel validated. And I gotta say, I think that's a really great attribute of yours. Not because I'm supporting anybody who might be delusional, but because I feel like you know yourself well enough, right? I have talked to people who are also interested in this, or I have done some research on YouTube. I feel like I know, people can't do this, or people can't time this well. Whatever you are, they don't have an understanding of it. It's like maybe you're a great drummer and they have no idea how to read music. So like, how are they going to tell you anything about whether or not you could be successful? This is someone who's like out of their element, right? Is their name Donnie? We've got Hermit in the reverse and the Magician. They don't speak your language, and I don't know if they ever will. They don't understand your talents because that's not their world. You might be a King of Swords. Again, doesn't mean you're a man, but it does indicate you're very capable of that strategic linear thought because you come from somebody who is very strategic, like Excel spreadsheet. I did the numbers and it doesn't make sense kind of person with a large dash of creativity. And that makes it real difficult for you all to always understand each other because you have this other influence, right? It wasn't one person who made you. There were two people who made you, right? They don't understand that other side of you. So maybe you got your skill set from the other parent or someone else in the situation, right? Hey, Johnny, how are you doing? Yeah, exactly. All right, what else do we have? 10 of Cups in the reverse and Justice in the reverse. So this is somebody who is not supportive of a change in your career or in your life path because they see things a little bit rigidly. They don't understand the life that you are talking about or the skill set that you possess. And you're going to get confirmation of what you want to do in a different way. So again, I feel like you walk away from this conversation and you're like, well, that's what you think, but not what I think. So thanks, but no, I'm not buying it. Hello, is it Amex? How are you doing? Hello, Darnell. I hope you're enjoying your weekend. So we've got some gossip, some people who want to talk about your business. They want to talk about what you're changing, what you're doing, and how you're so different. I don't know. I think it's kind of cool that you're not a duplicate of everybody else that you've met. It's kind of boring when people are just like that pick-me variety, right? Like, how about you just be you? And the people who appreciate it will like find you. You are an individual in a world of people who are trying to be the same. So yeah, they're going to talk about you. Why? Because they're jealous. Why? Because if they talk about themselves, no one listens. There's some boring people that might be jealous of you. I'm sorry. Maybe that's a judgy way to say it. But they chose to settle. They chose a less risky path or a less demanding career. And they're over here like, what are you doing? Because they don't get it. That's okay. You don't have to get it. Let them talk, right? We've got roller coaster or highest high, adrenaline rush. And I feel like they're a little jealous of the things that could be coming your way. And especially if you could actually end up becoming quite wealthy or prosperous with this path. For some of you, it is like you might become a celebrity. You might become the world's next best drummer, right? Whatever this is, you're having resistance or getting judgments from others who don't get it. If I were judging, like doing a review of a TV series and it was spoken in French and I had to go off of the subtitles, I would not feel comfortable offering my review of that because I feel like there are things that I'm missing. Even if I speak that language or even if those subtitles are 100% on, there are going to be cultural references that I miss. There are going to be other things that are nuanced that I probably am just, so I'm not going to really feel like I have much of a place to comment on that. This is somebody who's trying to like comment on things that they really don't get. They don't get it. Have I mentioned that yet? I feel like it's really strong. They don't get it. They want something that is predictable. They want you to do something that they feel you should have to do. But to you, maybe the 9-to-5 job kind of thing, or 8-to-5, whatever, seems like a jail sentence. And to them, that's just like what they're used to. And they're like, you'll be fine. No, I was actually meant for something different, but thank you. They don't like it because they feel like you look at it as you're better than them, or, I'm special. Well, maybe you are. Are they mad about it? All right, this is the Poe Tarot. Yeah, that happens. Ooh, 9 of Paws. This is the 9 of Pentacles. This talks about stability, intuition, independence. You've got things that you can do that other people might be a little bit jealous of. Man's real life is happy, chiefly because he is ever expecting that it soon will be so. Don't settle and then hope that things someday will magically become awesome. If you have an opportunity to choose awesome, go for awesome right now. Who cares what everybody else says? They don't get it. So I see you choosing a path that makes sense for you, that aligns with your natural gifts. Yeah, it might be a little bit of a steep climb, but you're ready for it. So we have death. The boundaries which divide life from death are at best shadowy and vague. Who shall say where the one ends and where the other begins? Death is a rebirth. One chapter of your life is ending and allowing space for a new chapter to begin. There are going to be people that are frustrated with the fact that your life is maybe more interesting because you didn't settle, that your life is maybe a little bit more glamorous, or that maybe you are just not following all of the directions that everybody else feels they have to follow. Well, if you're creative, what do they expect? I'm sorry. We've got the 6 of Paws, which is the 6 of Pentacles. From my infancy, I was noted for the docility and humanity of my disposition. There are people who expect you to fall in line. There are people who expect you to choose the same life that they have chosen. But the interesting thing about people is we are not all the same, and for like a good reason, right? We shouldn't all be the same. All right, this is the... Now I'm not so confident on the name of it, but it's free to call up. Creative messages seem super appropriate for this reading, so that's why we're going there. Hello, Voyager. How are you doing? You're a living work of art. You're always becoming your true self. Aim at one thing, focus your arrow, and pull back the bow. Be precise with your aim. Don't be afraid of the biggest unknown in your life, your potential. It's a gift that you must unwrap every day. And apparently a gift that not everyone will understand. Oh, I love the back of that one. Isn't that pretty? They all have a different back, which is kind of lovely. And floral. Sorry, I just love this style of artwork. You are infinity being defined through the impact of your creative spirit in motion. That one was a little bit cerebral. I'm going to say it again. You are infinity being defined through the impact of your creative spirit in motion. Don't let these people tell you what you're supposed to do. They don't get it. If you've ever seen Pleasantville, you might be dealing with a whole town of people who live their life in black and white, and you're over here living it in color. So, of course, they don't get it. Of course, they don't understand what chartreuse is. Bonus points to anyone who can spell the color chartreuse properly. All right. Hold on. I have to remember what this is. I think this is the catamancy. When you get gifted 6 tarot decks at once, sometimes it's a challenge to keep them all straight. But I think I got it. Hey, what's up, Matt? I hope you're having a good day. So we've got the Hermit in the reverse. People who don't get it. Page of Coins. Underestimating the value of an opportunity that comes your way, not appreciating the work that you've already put into this. If you're trying to be a comedian, if you're trying to be an actor, right? There's so much that goes into it. Maybe even like real estate, right? So much effort that goes into it that people don't necessarily see. And so much of a je ne sais quoi, or like a you either have it or you don't, right? We've got the Lovers in the reverse, Death in the reverse, and the Two of Swords. So there's pressure from multiple people telling you that it's time to give up on this dream, or telling you that this isn't really a good use of your time. You should go for something that's more predictable. When's the last time you went to a movie and it was super predictable and you liked it? Okay, you could argue, well, Carmen, I read the book, so I knew what was going to happen. Okay, smarty pants. How many times do they change the storyline to adapt it for a movie? What I'm saying is, life is not meant to be some script that is super predictable and like some Truman Show where it's all like contrived and this is what you have to do. You should have the opportunity every now and then to be wild, be unpredictable, to do something that nobody else is doing, right? Ooh. Hello, Gloria. How are you doing? Are y'all getting audio issues? Santiago, I'm impressed. So if you all are experiencing audio issues, I'll probably just pull like 3 more cards and call it, because apparently this desktop application is struggling today. But I will be back with the mobile version because that seems to be less prone to the glitches. All right, so we've got the 9 of Coins, or the 9 of Pentacles, another reference to independence and stability. 5 of Cups in the reverse, and the King of Swords. Remember I said that was you. So you see this opportunity. You're not going to let other people talk you out of it. You're going to pursue your dream. And I see a lot of you being extremely successful. So you'll have a moment where you get to look at these people and say, I told you so. But you also might not have to say that at all. They might actually just come forward and be like, I guess I was wrong. So look forward to that day, I guess, but focus on your creative talents because there's something beautiful here that you are meant to create. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I love you all. Have a great rest of your day. Toodles.